Hi,
Hi,
everybody. How are you? And welcome to the show. And we're really glad you're here. And we have a little bit of a live audience, which we're very happy about.
Yeah.
Tim's here today. And welcome all of you to our topic today about having compassion. And if you look it up in the dictionary, it says that it's a sympathetic consciousness toward other people and their hardships and their triumphs and this and that. And I don't mean it lightly like that. I just was saying. Okay. So with that, how come they don't put in there a conscious sympathy for the self? And I don't mean victim self talk. Hey, Mick. And today's not about the victim mentality or anything. Today is about truly having a compassion for yourself, realizing and seeing everything that you have come through, thick or thin, however you did it, whatever means you needed, you got through it. And now it's all about implementing all the self-care we've been talking about for months. Okay, so we've talked about journaling, meditation, speaking the truth, being true to yourself, using obviously crystals to heighten your awareness, and centering yourself and taking long walks in nature. But finding compassion for yourself to feed your soul really allows you to, I hate to put it like this, but give yourself permission to give yourself the time you need to implement these things, to bring yourself to that peaceful place and that joyful place,
Yes.
understanding that you came through all these things.
Well, we started out the new year, which is fading to not so new anymore. But 2017 was the year of yourself.
Right, a 1. If you add up the numbers, it's a 1.
Today is November 1st.
11/1/2017. It's
all about you today.
Well, it's a 4-day. Universally,
Yes,
it's a 4-day, which is about foundations.
Right.
So on that note, start building today that foundation for self-care.
Yes.
And we always say, if you love yourself first and more, then that's what you will put out, and you will be able to give and receive to others.
Right.
It's
And
not about being a
It's coming back on. I just did.
Oh, all right. So we
Sorry,
had a little
glitch in our internet. But the point is like, if you're a giver to everyone else and not to yourself, then you're not gonna. At some point, you're just gonna be like flattened out and not be able to do anything. So you really need to have the energy for yourself and for everyone else. Not to mention, if you have girls in particular, like I have a daughter and other daughters that I take care of, you want to be an example of self-love and self-worth and self-compassion, so that they learn to do that too.
Right. Well, I think it goes really for sons and daughters, but
Truly.
we're going to say daughters more because women have been so suppressed for so long
Correct.
about their feelings and, the homemaker and all that
Yes.
kind of stuff. I mean, I
And
know
that is
that's the
important.
era I come from, the old school.
Yes.
But, everything's really an equal give and take. And,
Yes.
men feel these things just like, we do, and coming through all the things that everybody, comes through. And, are we still on? Are we okay? Oh, so where did we cut off, Pete?
So for whatever reason, we're going to have little situations today, so piece it together.
All right, so I hope this didn't bleep out, but it's
Right.
about like letting go and respecting yourself enough to make the time, not take the time, because then it's like you have to steal it from something else. When you think about all the things you did, like we've raised children, and where did you find the time to do these other things? But you know what? You did it.
Right.
It doesn't matter how, when, where, what, you did it. And that shows you there's really no thing in this world that you want that you can't achieve. And being compassionate for the self, being compassionate for the self is not selfish. And learning to say yes to things even though at the moment it doesn't feel like it. And we've, said when you're going through something, these aren't the easiest things to swallow. These ideas are not so easy to believe. But there's another thing, believing in yourself, that you have the ability to heal and work things out and center yourself and be grounded and really make a life for yourself where you use all of the healing tools that we have. And feeling that compassion for yourself and understanding that you need love and you need forgiveness and, not feeling anger. Look, things happen. And in a world that we're living in today, which I don't know a day that goes by that there's not something so devastating on the news, and even personally, devastating losses that we've all incurred and we incur all the time. And being able to step back from all these things and saying to yourself, how can I make a difference? What can I do to make a difference? And on a consciousness level, on a one consciousness level, if we all can individually get past what's happening and realize where do we go from here and heal, that makes all the difference. One at a time, because we're the only place that we can start.
Yes.
Michael Jackson said it better than anybody. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. And that song means so much, because the person you're looking at every single day in the mirror is the only person that you have control over and that can make that change. And you know where it comes from? The one tool that we all have, and that's our mind. Because our mind is capable of any emotion, thought, feeling, change, intention, or anything that we want to do. He must have something to say or something, because he's been here for 2 days and I know I have to think about what I'm wearing on a Wednesday. I realized that today. But anyway, signs, paying attention to signs. We've talked about that over and over and over again. And I'm telling you, if you haven't asked for signs, for guidance, and you haven't gotten them, that's why.
Yeah.
The minute you ask for a sign, you get it, believe it or not. And you know what? You'll see it when you believe it. Just like Wayne Dyer has always said, when you believe in something, that's when you're going to see it. And I've seen some real things lately that I really understand how loved we can be, and friendships, and I have a handful of family that I'm very close to and that I love, and a lot of times a lot of us have a lot of hard time letting go of people, places, and things that have been in our life for so long. Some of them we detach and there's no connection. Some of them we detach after a very long time, but you're still attached at the heart. There's still that love that was there. It's still there, but there's just other issues in that relationship maybe that you just can't, and have compassion for that relationship. Have compassion for that person. Have compassion for yourself that, you dealt with things as long as you could, and then you had to move on. But really feeling sympathetically for yourself, not victim sympathy, but going, look, you made it through this.
I think it's really owning your own power, though. I mean, the problem is we've been giving our power away for so long that we're not used to, and society will make, like, you're supposed to do everything for everybody else all the time. But again, like, it's you. You know how you feel. And I think that's why we get into these, like, traumatic places in ourselves, and, like, depression and all these things. You don't even know what you want or how you feel, and if you did, you don't know how to express it. So you have all these things going on, and really, if you could just get quiet with yourself and start exploring all these things that we talk about every week, and and really know that it is absolutely imperative that you know and love yourself first. That
Right.
is number one. And the saying is, I don't know, is it a law or what, but like you have to love yourself before you can love someone else.
Well,
so you
that's
can't
just the
deplete-
truth.
That's
Like,
the truth, right?
you have to be able to feel this and be able to put it out there.
Right, but it's
so
like
the
something we
universe
say
gets-
rather than like live.
Right, and to bring
Right?
it, but no, you have to live it and feel it, and you
Yes.
have to really be honest about it. And I think that's something that a lot of people have a problem with, is really being honest with themselves about what they're really feeling because of trained emotions, learned emotions.
Learned
You
behavior.
got to stop following here, and you got to start trusting here. The gut, that's where everything's coming from. That's where
That's
your
your
power
birthplace.
center is.
Yes.
And what you feel is so much more important in your life than what you're thinking, because your brain will lie to you, but your body never will. And I've learned it over and over and over again. Even in muscle testing, I taught everybody last week how to,
Intuition.
muscle testing, and use that tool. Use that tool in decisions that you're making. Should I do this? Should I do that? But go here, go there, start this new venture, whatever. But I think in our old program behavior, we've been so taught that caring for ourselves